Hey guys, so we might have finally found it. It might have finally worked. Just let me know if you can hear me. Oh, I would be so happy if you can hear me. Let's see. Okay, people are liking the video. That's good. Yay! Finally! Hello! Oh god, guys, I'm so happy and sweaty because figuring this stuff out and then 28 degrees is kind of hot. Okay, guys, welcome. I can't see myself, but I can see the chat box, so that's all I need to know. Welcome to Gut Healing Sunday. I'm so happy you're here. I'm holding these coconuts not because I'm crazy. I might, but I've self-harvested those, and I'm gonna need to change to something here because I see myself in the thingy here, like 4 seconds or so in delay. Okay, the coconuts. Greetings from the Caribbean side of Panama. I'm here on an island, and I self-harvested those coconuts, and I've already drinking four of the small ones. And the way to open them, just in case you're wondering, I had my opinel with me, and then you basically just stick it here in the middle, which I'm not doing right now because it's like champagne. It spreads out. So you basically just open it here. It's the softest spot of the coconut, and then it opens up. So the neighbors are just walking by. Yeah, it's just another YouTuber, those crazy people. Okay, what we're gonna do today, first of all, I'm gonna create something so I can see myself here, and I'm not just talking to this little thing there in the camera. Just give me 1 second. I've asked another question in the previous chat, which is deleted now. Guys, if you want to answer that, when did you discover the gut healing challenge? Like how long ago? Like 5 months, 1 week, 1 day? Let me know in the comments below. I'm curious. Or here in the chat box, I mean. Okay. Haha. There we go. Okay. A little bit of vanity. Can see myself. Just helps. Okay. Great. So what we're going to do today, we'll do a little bit of a very short meditation, and I'm going to eat some ginger for you just to show you that this is possible and you don't have to go crazy. Ginger chewing, one of my favorite things to lower the reactivity in your body, to cleanse your body, to help rebuild your good stomach acid, just so many things. Mental clarity if you have brain fog, that's what you want to eat. So after I've eaten this, we're going to go into prepared live chat, which I'm going to show you or explain to you how to reintroduce foods back into your diet. There were gut feeder questions all around that, and I hear that again and again, so I'd love to say a few things about this. Then we're going to take some time. I'm just going to answer a question from George Trim Baker about his friend who's not hungry anymore, and how to increase hunger. Just in case that's something you are dealing with. His friend has cancer, and I'm going to give some resources there, just short. And then we're going to go into answering your live questions here, and then we're going to all have an even better Sunday that we have already. Unless it's super in the night for you right now. Then it's sweet dreams. Okay. Guys, I'm so excited. I'm always excited. I don't know if you know how weird it is to stand in front of the camera, and here is just the street in the front and the ocean and people just walking by here and looking at me. But that's okay, We're all a little bit weird. Okay, eating this now. Eating the ginger for you, just to show you that it's possible. Somehow this helps. Friends where I've did that, also in the house I'm living, people kind of got into the ginger mode. So what you want to do is look at your thumb, and then half of your thumb size, which fits pretty perfectly. This is the piece of ginger you're gonna eat. I'm just peeling here with my opinel, and yeah, it's there's no science to it. It's basically just this, and then rap. Yeah. Okay. While I'm eating this, what I would love to know from you, 3 things, just tuning into yourself. Maybe you want to close your eyes or have them slightly lowered, and just feeling into 3 things that are right now good in your life, that you appreciate. Even if you are in chronic pain, even if there's something that is not working and you want to change it, but there's still so much goodness. There's so much goodness just you being here and being able to connect with this technology, which I have to say for me was a challenge. Just this is worth appreciation. So tuning in, feeling, give me 3 things, can be also 3 words. Don't have to put it in the comments unless you want to. 3 things you appreciate right now. Watch me eat. That's it. I'm drinking some herbal tea here. It's not coffee, I promise. Okay, 3 things. What do you appreciate right now? Thomas is asking if I would eat the skin if it would be organic ginger. This is organic ginger. It's already more, how do you say? I could eat it, yeah, you get the goodies also there in there, believe me, enough. Okay, 3 things you appreciate, and then you can appreciate, for example, the gut feeling community, and that we're not alone here, and I'm not alone here talking. I mean, I'm the only person talking, but you know what I mean. Sorry, I'm a little bit goofy. I got a lot of sun and rain. I'm doing my best to be concise though and honoring your time. Good. Having said that, let's dive into reintroducing foods after a fast or after completing the 1-week gut healing challenge, which is a program that I'm offering. It comes in form of a guide, an ebook, which basically helps you within 1 week to get some basics done and gives you a meal plan and shopping list and all of that. And some people did that and then they ask, what should I do afterwards? How can I reintroduce the foods that I've eaten before? How can I reintroduce them now? Or you did another diet program. So what to do? And just naming here one gut feeler, Yvette, asked me that. I have severe chronic constipation and the doctor put me on permanent laxatives, but I refuse to live that way. Well, that's good. That's great, Yvette. I just need to know how to reincorporate whole grains, yogurt, and eggs back into my diet. So, good question. Awesome question. Get that question all the time, also from clients. So, where do we start? I have a few points I think are important here. So, first of all, you don't want to reintroduce anything unless your symptoms have improved. Yeah, so if you're doing a diet and that starts working for you, don't think about reintroducing foods, especially the ones that I laid out that are not helping with chronic disease: eggs, dairy, gluten, soy, pork, things like that. You don't want to bring them back into your diet. You don't want to bring them back into your diet if you still like them. That means also that your microbiome might not have changed yet. The change of the microbiome usually doesn't take that long if you're really clean of it. So a good way to find out if the eggs or the dairy or maybe the banana, whatever you want to reintroduce, is really good for your body is to have like 2 weeks completely taking them out. So if you're saying I want to test dairy, then I want to take dairy out completely. So that means no butter, no milk, no yogurt, no ghee, so nada, like really needs to be 100% out. That gives the body the ability to give you like a clear signal afterwards. Yeah. So when you then reintroduce it, or let's say test it after 2 weeks, and you will feel your body's response. Usually, like what happens for a lot of people I work with have allergies, like I had for 15 years, food intolerances, not necessarily dairy tested, but other food intolerance, and they leave dairy out for 2 weeks. And a classical symptom that doesn't have to be yours, but just to name one, is like you get a blocked nose, or you have like trouble breathing within quite a short time. Okay, I just need to breathe, so I'm not gonna. It's pretty hard to talk all the time, so. Good. Okay. That's number one. So make sure you're going to give it those 2 weeks to really test if your body is reacting to it. That's one way. Then some foods are okay to reintroduce. Yeah, so I always say, like, if you want to heal as fast as possible, I recommend a plant-based diet. That doesn't mean that all of my clients are like, okay, we all are going to go plant-based. I'm not doing that. This is your decision, and you can still heal if you eat animal products. So if you want to reintroduce some foods, let's say grass-fed organic beef, that's fine. You know, it's not that everything needs to be like Peggy says, of course not, and not everything plant-based if you want to heal. There are some foods that I would recommend not to reintroduce, and those are the classical ones. And what I mean with not reintroducing, I mean not eat them on a daily basis. Before we go into that, I think there's something really important that I wanted to mention before. So when people talk about reintroduce, I'm like, oh, I have severe constipation like Yvette, now I want to reintroduce the foods. Then my first question is like, why do you want to reintroduce anything if your symptoms are still there? So, this is a tricky one. So basically, what a lot of people don't know is they think, like for me, for allergies, let's make it personal, my allergies. I got like pretty fast results after I left out dairy, eggs, and gluten. It was pretty fast. Nose was clear, like maybe a month. And then my biggest mistake was I introduced it again. You know, I did it again, and then it worked for a few days, and then I got my blocked nose back, or the symptoms coming up again. Any food intolerances or animal hair allergies. So what you don't want to do is you don't want to, once your symptoms are gone, you don't want to immediately like reintroduce the foods that you know might feed pathogens in your body: dairy, eggs, gluten, soy, corn, pork. It's important to understand that your liver, and your inner organs, just because they don't give you symptoms, that doesn't mean that they are not struggling anymore. That just means that they have coped so much that they are not like flaring up anymore. But it doesn't mean that all the tissue or the liver is healed in 1 week. Definitely not. Gotta understand that like those inner organs, especially your liver, suffers for decades before you see any symptoms. And often those symptoms from the liver especially, they are like this, they are building up. You know, first you're a little bit tired, maybe you're not sleeping that well, maybe you have brain fog, but that doesn't, and then often like once we hit a certain level, once we have SIBO, once we have memory issues, we have diabetes, constipation, like massive symptoms, then we start, okay, now we're going to do a liver cleanse. And I think like, yeah, okay, I mean, liver rescue protocol for medium is amazing. It's 28 days or the 9 days challenge, but it's not enough, guys. It's not. Your liver is like a very dense organ, and it doesn't heal. Also, your gut is not healing in a week or even a month, or for most people, might be even not a year, So if you want to reintroduce any foods, number one rule is like you need to be symptom-free for 1 month. And I mean like really symptom-free. Yeah, so not like, oh, 1 day constipation, next day constipation, and then I have 3 days of no constipation. That's not symptom-free. I mean like 1 month no constipation for Yvette in your case, without laxatives, of course. That's a possibility when you can start like thinking about reintroducing foods. With the whole dairy, eggs, gluten thing, I have nothing against those foods. Just to say, yeah, you can eat those foods if you really want to. I don't recommend it, and especially not recommend reintroducing them. Yeah, so eating them occasionally after you've symptoms free, that might be okay. but don't overdo it. You're just going to feed streptococcus, for example, in the body again. You're not able to get that out completely, or a virus like Epstein-Barr, and it's just going to build up again. Okay? I hope that was clear. Let me see if I missed anything. No. Okay, does it make sense, guys? I'm just going to go into the chat box. Yes, SIBO can cause brain fog. Amarilda. What a nice name. Okay, good. That was the thing that I wanted to share with you about, like, how to reintroduce foods and when to reintroduce foods. And now just a short mention of one of the gut feelers, George Trimbaker is his YouTube name. Thank you so much. You asked about chemotherapy foods, and one of your friends, that's what he shared with me, has lost the desire to eat. You said you were baking organic pineapple bran muffins, which is so cute. And what can I suggest to get her hungry for food again? As I can imagine, her microbiome. Sorry, just a car passing. As I can imagine, her microbiome is dead after chemotherapy. And guys, even if you don't have stage 4 cancer or stage 3 or 4 cancer, I'm not sure which one it was, the question is really good, like what to do if you're not hungry and you feel like you need to eat food. First of all, it's really, the body is really smart. That's the number one thing that's always true. The body is smart. The body is really smart, and digestion needs a lot of effort. Yeah, I mean a lot of effort. That's why I also recommend you not to eat before you go to bed. So the liver, the inner organs, they have time to do the other functions they have, especially the liver, cleansing, getting rid of toxins, regenerating itself, restoring glycogen levels. So it's easier for a body who has chronic disease to cleanse if it's not busy with too much digestion, too much heavy foods. There we go again with the animal proteins, animal fats, lots of fats in general, more like foods that are high in nutrients and low in calories. That's food that is really helping you with the healing process, and also in the case of cancer, where the body is really like nutrient depleted. Virus issue and nutrient depleted, and then you have the chemotherapy on top, which literally kills your microbiome. You're right about that. So the best thing is to drink something right now. The best food you can eat, or the best food you can give her, is either fresh fruits or something sweet that she likes. So fruits are the best. Don't give her high fructose corn syrup, of course not, or sugar. Like anything nutrient depleted and sweet is not good. But things like dates or other fresh fruit. And why is that important? Because it's going to help her. Like, first of all, it might be easier for her to eat. That's the most important thing. Ask her, like, if she would be hungry for anything, like what would she crave for? Maybe she craves something salty. Then you know your answer. You know it's celery juice, or it's a vegetable juice. So anything raw, liquid, sweet, kind of smoothie together with greens if she likes, or veggie juice. One of my favorite veggie juice, by the way, is celery, cucumber, and apple together. Then you have the sweetness, you have the minerals, and you have the sodium cluster salts, which also kill viruses from the celery. And that's one of the best healing juices that you can give her. And the good thing is, a juice doesn't contain fiber. Yeah, for somebody who has such an impaired digestion, it might be easier to digest and to really absorb nutrients when there's no fiber. Not in general, not for everybody. Smoothies are great, but for a cancer patient who might be even not able to really chew or doesn't have energy, and those like high nutrient, fresh, raw juices are the best. I'm gonna reference here a colleague of mine, which I dearly treasure. His name is Chris Wark, and he had stage 4 colon cancer, and he healed himself. He's quite a young dude still, and he has also a YouTube channel called Chris Beat Cancer. So George or whoever is looking, whoever's watching that and might know somebody in the family or yourself who are struggling with cancer, check this guy out. He's really, really good, and he worked with a lot of people, and he has a very good YouTube channel that you can also check out. Okay, last but not least on that note, if you or somebody close to you suffers from cancer or really any chronic health issues, it's not just about diet. I talked about that in the last videos and in the last live stream. It's not just about diet. Diet is really just one part, which is important because it's also energy that you put into your body. But joy is another one. Joy is so important. Love, joy, connection, relaxation. So one thing, George, that you can do for her is refocusing her mind. Instead of focusing her on her healing, help to focus her on what brings her joy, what makes her happy. And one of the resources I also do with clients is have them make a list on, like, literally write down and keep that updated and add to that list, like a resource list, what brings me joy, what small things brings me joy. For example, I love riding horses, I love seeing wild animals, I love being close to water, I love drinking lemon water in the morning. So little things. I love talking to my best friend on the phone, unfortunately just because she's so far away. But those small things matter. And then what you can do is you can check in with yourself, if it's you're suffering, or with your friend or your partner, and ask them, check in with them, ask them, what are you doing today? Like one thing that brings you joy. What are you doing? When are you doing it? Hold them in the most loving way, hold them accountable for that, and help them to refocus. Okay? So what brings you joy? Okay, I hope that helped. George, let me know in the comments below when you're seeing this video. And guys, I'm gonna go back to here the tab. Oh, Rob is here as well. Hello, Rob. Hello, Deborah. Lots of new people. Hello, everybody. Patrick, Martin, Frank. Okay. So what we'll do now is we're going to go into your questions, and before we go there, I wanted to mention two ways to support options. Number one is using the feature. YouTube is very creative and wants to help content creators as well. There's a feature called a super chat, which you can see in the chat box down there on the right. I think it has a dollar sign or something like that, and that basically gives you the opportunity to support the channel, but also to highlight your question. So it's going to pop up for me, and it's easier for me to see, and you support the channel. That's number one, what you can do. And number two is to if you get like value from the Gut Feelings channel, or you did some of the tips and it helped you, or you just want to say thank you, I've created a donation button where you can donate whatever amount you want, and just giving back to it and saying thank you. And I'll link that in the description below as well. Okay guys, now without any further ado, let's go into, and I love you anyway, even if you're not doing it. I just wanted to give you the opportunity, because I know when I get value from something, I also want to give back. So use it or not, I'm not offended in any way. Good. Okay. So let's look into it, guys. What are your questions? I'm gonna go a little bit here through the chat. Okay, we have a lot of SIBO questions again. Can SIBO cause brain fog? Yes, SIBO can cause brain fog because it's the brain gut connection is directly related. When your vagus nerve, which in nerves like from your digestion up to your spine, when that one is inflamed, it can also cause brain fog. SIBO is not just small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. There's much more connected to that. It's also a microbiome imbalance. Is a resistant strain of strep that you want to heal by changing your microbiome, by stopping to to eat foods that feed SIBO, which I just mentioned: dairy, eggs, gluten, soy, pork. Corn is also one, very hard here in the tropics because everybody eats corn. They love tortilla, they love nachos, and whenever you ask for gluten-free option, what do they give you? Corn. Yes. So I've got a lot of videos on SIBO. I also last week on the live chat I've talked about what can you eat for SIBO, if grains are okay, which kind of grains, and if you should reintroduce them and things like that. So make sure you watch that. I hope that answered a little bit one of your questions. Okay, Rob. Hi, Rob. Lovely you're here. Rob, by the way, Rob Trummel is one of the first gut feelers here on the channel. He was there from the beginning, and he's still here. I feel really honored that you're here. You've asked if I talked about St. John's Wort. That's an amazing thing. I love that. I haven't talked about them. It's really great for your nervous system. It also is antiviral. I love it. Sometimes people overdose it. I always recommend like doing a tea. I wouldn't go for the capsules unless you're really in the dark winter, because it can make you more light sensitive. Magnesium supplements, if it's good for mood stabilization, yes, definitely. Maybe that's a good time to mention that I'm working on something new. I'm creating a new product. Okay, another car is coming. It's Christmas. Product, what's the new thing? Okay. Gives you more time to put more questions in the box. What are they doing on Sunday? Shouldn't they sit on the beach and just read? Okay, car is gone. So, the magnesium supplement, what I'm doing, seeing myself drinking the cup. What we're going to do, what I'm creating is it's called My Gut Supplement Kit, and it's basically a mini video series with handouts for all of that. And what that does is I'm going to give you 3 of my best supplements for healing your gut. Magnesium in all these different forms is one of them. It's going to be really, really very affordable first product, and then afterwards comes the gut healing challenge. But if you're new to the channel, or if you have specific questions to supplements like magnesium, I'm going to cover all of that in the My Gut Supplement Kit. I worked long on that title. I hope it's going to work, and I hope you're going to like it. It's probably going to come out next week. We're just finishing up a little bit of the editing and some of the design work. Okay, and Rob, I already have videos on what's the best magnesium supplement, and also if you're looking for mood stabilization, I have a video on what's the best magnesium for anxiety. That goes not just for anxiety, also if you have like highs and lows. And also looking into toxic heavy metals would be a good idea. Okay, Thomas. Thomas asks, Peggy, I have had serious stomach cramps for 2 days. All I have been eating is fruit, vegetables, and salads, and I feel like the fruit is upsetting my stomach, so I'm stopped eating fruit. Any advice? Yes, I do. I do have advice. So what you need to understand is that your body is healing in stages. So you might have eaten fruit, vegetables, and salad before, and you felt good, and then suddenly you feel, you have cramps, or people getting very tired. Upset stomach is a classical one. Also brain fog is one. Low blood pressure, low blood sugar. And what that basically is a healing dip. So your body uses the opportunity when it gets like very clean diet, is sending a signal to the body, okay, we can get rid of some stuff. Yeah, so the liver is holding so much onto it, and it uses every opportunity when you have a few days of consistent good eating, good meaning nutrient dense and meaning not feeding pathogens, and light, low fat. then the body will use that opportunity to start healing. Now, if you have those sudden cramps, what you can do is, for slowing the process down, you can increase the cooked food content. So potatoes are a good one, for example. Potatoes, sweet potatoes. You can lower the fruit a little bit. Also, bringing in Hawaiian spirulina can help if that might be what you're describing might be a toxic heavy metal issue where you just released some mercury from the liver, some mercury from the brain. It's really the body is a miracle. We cannot figure that out, and the only thing you can do is really tuning into your body. So you might be good in lowering the fruit, or eating just one type of fruit, not eating a fruit salad altogether, and doing spirulina or doing a little bit of vegetable juices. Celery is also very stimulating, very stabilizing. And ginger is an amazing one against stomach cramps because it helps the muscles to relax in the stomach. Yeah, so ginger chewing for you 3 times per day, that's a must. Okay, moving on. Hey Rob, thank you so much. Do you have a question that comes with that? No, I already answered the question. Okay. Glucose mutase, that's a name for a YouTube person here, asked me, can you please tell me how much oregano oil I should be taking and for how long? Very hard to answer because I have no idea what you are struggling with and why are you taking oregano oil. In general, there's really no in general with oregano oil. If you're taking that for SIBO or for parasites, I would not go beyond 3 drops per day. Like we were talking about oregano oil, and that's already a lot. And I would probably not do it longer than 2 weeks in a row. But again, for some people it's important to go long. For some people it needs to be more. I would really need to know more about you and your health story to answer a question like pinpoint it down. Okay. Yeah, for SIBO and IBS. Yeah, don't do it longer than 2 weeks though. And for SIBO, I would rather, because SIBO, your small intestine is already very sensitive. There might come food sensitivities with this. So I would rather go for including like herbs, like thyme tea, oregano tea, instead of oregano oil, which is pretty hardcore. It's pretty strong. All etheric oils need to be used with a lot of caution, especially internally, because they can also kill your microbiome, by the way. Yeah, so IBS, you already have a sensitive bowel. Eat ginger. Ginger is great. Also kills viruses. Make sure you're doing enough nutrients and you're not eating dairy, eggs, and gluten. This is traffic here on Sunday, Panamanian people. Okay. What are my thoughts from healing from H. pylori? That's a very general question. What are my thoughts on H. pylori? It's overrated, totally. Often H. pylori flares up when other circumstances come all together. So it's never just H. pylori. It's always a mix of things. H. pylori, you can get rid completely of H. pylori, but then you're just going to pick it up again. So it's not, you don't want to work on like eliminating H. pylori completely. What's much worse is things like shingles, Epstein-Barr. For H. pylori, people often have gastritis, and what they get as a cause is H. pylori, but it's not. Your system need to be vulnerable to things like H. pylori overgrowth or candida overgrowth, which is a completely different thing. So you want to like fuel your immune system, maybe do some zinc, give yourself some vitamin B12 with adenosine and cobalamin, adenosine and methylcobalamin. I talk about that again in the upcoming My Gut supplement kit. I'm still funny about the name because I have talked with friends and colleagues about what's the best name, and that's what we came up with. Still practicing that one. So that would be a good one for you to also understand how you can support your body with getting rid of H. pylori with certain supplements. But of course, that's then also needs to be food, lower stress. Yeah, anything stomach screams stress for me. Yeah, if you have issues with acid reflux and gastritis, that's important too. Okay, guys, let's do one more question. Give me one more question. Thank you, Thomas. Just following up on that, glucose mutase, would oregano oil kill good bacteria in the gut? Yes, it's antibacterial. So it also kills good bacteria. Deborah, you ask a really good question. Are there any supplements or vitamins that can stop or reduce cravings for alcohol? Having a hard time taking a break. I did try your red wine substitute, but still hard. Okay, Deborah, alcohol issues is not just emotional, by the way. So it's never just, like any addiction is never just emotional. Whoever tells you that, it's just gives all the blame to you. Cravings and addictions have a lot to do with physical nutrient, being physically nutrient depleted. In the case of alcohol, that sounds weird. Now this is for you, Deborah, it's for you, for the alcohol issue. You want to make sure you eat a lot of healthy glucose. And even if that means even if the better alternative is to eat a bar of chocolate than to drink a glass of wine. There's no comparison to how toxic alcohol is for your body in comparison to even if that would be a milk chocolate. Even then, this is like, guys, alcohol. I've just went out here Saturday night, meeting up with some locals here, and everybody, all of those young people, I mean like young till 40, they're all there drinking alcohol, like nothing happened. And then the liver remembers every drop of alcohol you drop in there, and it's destroying tissue anytime. So I'm not want to make this bad for you, Deborah. Don't feel guilty. Getting rid of alcohol is a big thing. Especially, I'm not sure what your how much alcohol you drink, if you're officially one of the addicted people, or if you're just occasionally drinking alcohol and you want to get rid of the cravings. Whatever that is, doesn't matter. You want to make sure your glycogen levels in your liver are stored up. That's also what alcohol depletes, and that's also why we have those cravings, because the liver craves sweet. So you want to make sure you eat bananas every day, ripe brown bananas. You put dates in there, cinnamon, vanilla powder, freeze it. If you're in a warm country, banana ice cream, I really like that. Even if you need chocolate, even if you need cacao, much better than drinking alcohol. Try anything. And even if you're sometimes not even craving for the sweet thing, eat it anyway. It will help you to get rid of the to lower the cravings. And then for you Deborah, if there is an emotional part to the alcohol craving, look into where other you can get your joy from. Where other you can get, alcohol is also something to do with relaxation. Where other you can get a feeling of safety, that everything is well, relaxation. You also want to make sure, just thinking about that now, alcohol, from a brain perspective, you probably want to do magnesium, and you probably want to do magnesium L-threonate. Yeah, I talk about that in another video where I talk about the best magnesium supplement that will help like your nervous system to relax. If you take alcohol for sleeping better, go for magnesium L-threonate, and again, healthy glucose all over. Also, celery juice will help you to with the nerves in your gut to make them less vulnerable and to improve your microbiome. Okay, guys, we've been a long time. I wanted to just do a half an hour, but here we are. Okay, I hope everything worked with the technology. I hope you have learned something. Thank you everybody who hit this this button with the super chat. I really appreciate your support, and I'm committed to improve more and be better technical prepared for you guys, even in Panama here, and help you more out with your questions. Before we end, there's going to come up a little bit preview what we're going to do next. What's going to come up for next week in the live Q&A, we're going to talk about flu, and if you have flu, or if you what's the name? Doesn't come. Yeah, if you have a flu or a cold, what can you do to either prevent it, how to stabilize your immune system, or when you're already in the middle of the storm, or your kids or your partner or your other loved ones, and what you can do there. Because winter is coming up, autumn is coming up, at least for you or for some of us who are living in the northern hemisphere. So we're going to focus on that in the first part, and then again we're going to do the second part. And then in the second part, we're going to go into your live questions. Well, thank you everybody for joining in. So that's announcement number 1. And then this week is going to come up, stay tuned, it's going to come up a interview that I had with a fellow YouTuber. It's a really beautiful person. Adam is his name, from Learn Your Land. He's a mushroom expert, and we had a really, really good and fun time talking about mushrooms, how they can help improve your gut health, if you can eat mushrooms when you have candida or SIBO or any other gut issues, what they can do for your health. So make sure you are going to check out the video. I think it's going to come out on Tuesday, so in 2 days. Okay, thank you so much, guys. I really enjoyed being with you. I'm going to take a shower now or eat something, or have a coconut. I send you lots of ocean wave, and if you want a little bit tropical warm rain, you get that as well. And coconut water is also amazing, even if you can't get it fresh. Will help also with the glycogen levels, just for Deborah, for the alcohol problem. Okay, bye bye.